How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Cornhole Nation for another video. Today we'll be going over how to throw a rollover, a bounce shot, a flop shot, whatever it is you may call it. Now this shot is whenever somebody throws a blocker and you throw your bag tilted back through the air and it catches the board. You want a gap probably about that big between the bag and the bag you just thrown, and it hit the board, rolls up, and it catches the lip of the other bag, and whenever it does, it flicks the bag sideways and it walks it to the hole. Now if you're new and you're not consistent yet, you don't have a firm throw, I wouldn't try taking your time to learn how to throw it. Probably just work on your consistency, trying to throw every bag in the hole for a while, practice your airmails, because this is really an advanced player shot. I had to change my whole grip from throwing with one finger around the corner of the bag to throwing butterfly. Now butterfly is whenever you have a bag and you take your thumb and you pull the corners down. Now everybody throws this bag different. Some throw it with their thumb all the way up on top of the bag. Some throw it with it just way down here. Now I just go to like a third and I'll shake it out and I touch my thumb through my thumb and finger. They're always touching whenever I'm throwing, right there. Now, so when I'm throwing this shot, I bring my wrist straight back, and as I come forward, as soon as I get past my body is when I start to throw, turn my wrist. So this gap right here, this is going to play a big part in getting the spin of the tilted back. So as I come up, I flick my thumb all the way out, straight towards that board that I'm going to be throwing to. And then I kind of just let it go and I push the bag out the rest of the way. That right there is what's going to keep the bag spinning backwards and not through the air, So that flick, and it's going to stay up, it's going to hit. You're going to want a gap about like this big. It's going to hit the board, boom, come up, and for some reason, I'm not too sure why, but it kicks like this, and it will walk it on the corners of the bag. So, tips on this. If you have one bag in front of the hole, you want to throw that bag with more arch and up and down, so whenever it hits, that bag pops up in the air. That is a big factor on rolling over single bags. Unless it is a super sticky bag, you can just roll over a normal way. So I throw mine whenever the bags are piled up. I dart mine in, just zoom, and I throw it with more tilt back, because whenever there's a pile, the bags aren't going to move as much, and it just makes it so much easier to throw it over two instead of one. So tilt it back, boom, you sling that puppy down there, it hits, it's going to bounce and kick. Now you're not going to be able to build consistency yet until you can start getting it to stand up on the corners and rolling. And if you can't get it to do that, you're probably not throwing it tilted back enough. So try tilting your bag back more. Now you can get them to roll like this, on the faces, not kicked up on the corners. Now that happens sometimes, but it don't happen all the time for me. It just seems so much more easier tilting it back and then kicking it up on the corners, because it's you can kind of steer it, but at the same time it's gonna go either way. Now you have to throw this throw a lot to keep it down. That's what I've noticed so far. My preferred bag to throw whenever I'm trying to do this is a very much slower bag, rather than throwing a game changer or something like that, because super fast bags just keep moving. They don't really catch and roll or anything. That's why whenever I try throwing rollovers, I'm always throwing these or local slip-ins, because the local slip-ins can really help you learn how to throw the shot, because how much more sticky it is. Now, whenever you're actually throwing, because you're not going to want to throw a flop shot every time the board's open, you're probably going to want to throw something that is a little bit faster and not going to kick out or grab the board and jump on open boards, because then you just wasted a bag for nothing. Now, it is a really, really cool shot, but like I said, if you're a beginner, don't try learning this shot. Like, I don't want anybody messing up their own throw and not being able to go back to how they threw before. So, just keep that in mind. Now, you're going to have a lot of patience and a lot of time to learn how to throw this. You know, you're not just going to go out there and just get it down the first day.
So basically, here's a POV of how I do my shot. So, I'm touching fingers through the bag. I shake it out, right? And then as I'm bringing my arm back, this is about as far as my wrist turns, just like that. And as I come up, and I flick and push at the same time. So I flick and push, and it gives it the bag, that gives the bag that spin you need to get it to float.